This is Tarron with Twisted Mesquite Performance Horses. We're on a mission to create a world-class 2-year-old program that specializes in the rein cow horse. Today we're doing a review with Cairo. This is his 7th week in our program. We're going to go over the things that we've been working on this week, kind of talk through them and see how things go. So the first exercise we're working on is going to be our yield and bend exercise, the yield and bend exercise, where I yield that hindquarters 360 degrees, wait till he's soft, and then let him out into this walk, this circle here. I want him to follow his nose around this circle. I might get 2 or 3 circles here. And then we'll go out and do it again. I want to wait till he's soft in my hands. He's got his good cadence, moving his hindquarters there, and he comes out of that turn. He comes out of that yield, and he follows his nose good here around this circle. He's gotten better. One thing I've been really working with him on this week is getting him to follow his nose around that turn, around that circle, and making sure that we keep that forward motion. He has had a tendency of wanting to bring his front end around quite a bit instead of just walking around that circle. He wants to cut the corner. So right here, we're just waiting for him to get soft. I want him to move that hindquarters. He's kind of jumping around, maybe feeling pretty fresh. I want him to step around, get some cadence there, get some softness. He knows how to do this. We're just going to stick with him here. He's thinking he has to bring his front end around. Maybe he's getting a little attitude, but we're just there. And I want him to step around here. I want him to walk around this circle. I want to have some bend in this circle. I want him to be walking around here instead of trying to cut that corner like he's just trying to step around with his front end. Right now, I want him just to walk around this circle. You know, it's like we have a circle, draw it out here in the dirt, and I want him to be walking around that circle rather than starting to step over, which is good that he will, but that's just not what we're not what we're needing. I need him to respect that I have my inside leg on him, that I'm pushing. I have that bend through his rib cage, and so I need him to walk around that circle. And so we're gonna go again, you know, especially because he's throwing a fit about it. We need to quit him in a good place and build on it rather than him getting all bound up. And all of this right here is just him not moving his feet, his feet are all bound up. Because when a horse will flow flow with softness, and they'll move their body, and they'll flow around. There's no stiffness. Their head doesn't go up. They just go with the flow and just and flow around here. But all of this here is stiffness here, and he's got to get that hindquarters broke loose. I might go out here. I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna do, we haven't really worked on this, but I'm gonna do some rollbacks on the fence here. See, he's thinking about, he's just wanting to throw a fit, and so I'm gonna go give him something to move his feet, get him thinking about something else here. So as I said, it does get to a point to where, you know, if a horse has just a bad attitude about some stuff and he's not wanting to, do what we're asking him to do, rather than keep getting into a fight with him, let's go change it up, get him moving up his feet. That stop is get a little cadence here. Every time we stop him and back him up, we want cadence there. Like I was saying, rather than continuing to get in a fight with him there, I went and changed it up. And because I don't want this to be a bad situation, or him get into a big fight. And so right there, that wasn't as soft as I would want it to be, but it was better. And so I gave him a little bit of I kind of just got a little made some improvement, and we'll build on it. He's thinking about so we're gonna go back again. Get him moving his feet. It is a side note, but I'm pretty impressed with his rollbacks anyway. We hadn't worked on them yet. Which we will be shortly. Impressed with how he can move his body and get through that turn, which you can tell, I could tell on the ground he's that same way. Like I said, I don't want to get into a fight with him. So if we have to go change it up, get some change it up and get him thinking about something else rather than fighting me, we will. In this rollback, we're letting the fence stop them. This horse knows how to do this. We've been working on it all week. So sometimes, seems like sometimes these horses just kind of get in maybe a bad mood. And so we just have to remind them of what we're wanting them to do. See, I just need him to move that hip, not to worry about that front end, and just to move that hip. There. And have him walk around this circle. He's just, I think at this point, he just got himself all worked up about it. Or he knows how to move those hips. He knows how to disengage. And so we may go back and just build onto it. Build his confidence. He's kind of worked up about it, got his attitude, throwing his head a little bit. And so I'm gonna go and maybe I'll get 3 steps. And then we'll step out of it and walk around this circle here. And we might just trot out. So I'm going to be conscious of that side. And so I want to add see that side, just like that right there. It's more of what we're looking for. Where he'll give that hip. He's soft through that turn or through that yield. And then he'll come out here and step around this circle. He's acting a lot better now, more in character. So whether his saddle was kind of bound up or what, who knows, but some of those things we just got to work through, and it's good to have these videos to where we'll kind of work through them. So I got 4 steps, and I have him walk out here. He can just get over all it. So he's got all that attitude right here, and he's just got to get over it. We'll give him a chance to, but that's part of learning, part of what we're doing here, part of the consistency. It brings out that attitude sometimes in these horses, and it helps them. You know, we see that, find that attitude in them, and it's just part of getting them broke, to where we're giving them opportunity to persevere, even if they're not feeling good. I mean, it's no different than us. We have a bad day. You know, we've got to come out here and persevere, and it makes us better to get to the other side of that. It makes us better. It makes the next situation that comes up to where it's no big deal. And it's the same with these horses. You know, if horse is in a bad mood or, you know, has a bad day for whatever reason, you know, and You don't see anything physically going on with him. See right there, I'm not going to let him sit there and ignore my foot. It's his job to get off of my foot right there. You know, now that we checked her saddle and we gave him the benefit of the doubt, now it's his job just to do what we're asking. And part of it is, if, you know, say we, you know, you have a situation with the horse, and he's not doing what you ask him to do, and maybe y'all get into a fight about this or that. You know, you wanna be able to go back to that spot and make it and end in a good note, because you don't want it to be a bad spot tomorrow. This horse won't forget. So right there, I stayed with him a little longer till he got soft to me again, and then I let him out of it. And so we're building back to where we were prior to, you could say, a little fit he was giving us. See, that was a lot better there. He's listening again. He's getting a lot softer. See, his head has gone down quite a bit, so he's relaxing. He's getting softer through his body. I do want him to keep walking around in the circle, but he's coming back down. And so we're making progress, getting back to where we need to be. You know, sometimes some things aren't all that pleasant. Sometimes you find a spot and it's ugly before it gets better. But then when you work through it, and teach them what you're wanting, and they understand, then y'all are both better for it. He's thinking about backing up right here. I don't want him to. I want him to give that hip. So we'll certainly keep working on that. Figure out what's going on. Figure out how we can help him through it to where he understands and he's wanting to do what we're wanting him to do, rather than getting all bound up and confused. And I think it is. I mean, he's got a very good mind on him. He certainly wants to come out here and please. You know, he rides around really well. You know, I think it was the last video I had, we did a video on, and said, you know, how I can't have enough good things to say about this horse. And I still agree with that. And I think we just got to spend some time here, make sure he understands what we're asking, and build his confidence, and make sure that he understands the difference in our leg position. He understands what my feet mean, and make sure he understands what we're wanting him to do. You know, some horses that really want to please you, they want to do the right thing, they can get confused and frustrated, and I'd say that horses in general, they can get confused and frustrated about different things if they're a little confused about what the different signals mean. And so I want to make sure that we're coming back here and helping him understand that I want his hip to yield right here. I want him to be soft, and then let him out of it and let him follow his nose. See, I think it seemed like maybe he just got confused about it for some reason. We're just helping him work through that. He's a lot softer right here. He's not fighting us about it. And we'll touch on that some more before I get off of him. Just kind of finish it in a good spot. We have been working on our vertical collection a little bit this week. He's been doing good with that. But then, you know, another thing I think is going to help him here is our next exercise, which is us riding up here to this fence line. And it's coming up here, this fence line. If he whichever way he darts off to or leans to, I'm going to take him and circle him the other direction. I want him to, and he's been kind of trying to get this figured out as well, but just following his nose, staying at this trot, understanding what both my feet being on him means, where I'm wanting him to keep moving forward. And so we're gonna trot over here, or lope over here to this side. Whichever side he leans to, I'm gonna take him back this other direction. So he, even in this right here, he has a tendency to he's getting kind of bound up rather than just getting soft, getting off my leg, following his nose. He thinks he's got to hurry up and get that front end moved over there. Where I just want him to trot around here and follow his nose. I'm looking to have a nice round circle, but that takes time. You know, it takes these horses getting broke and spending time working on that. See, and we'll kind of get all of that just erratic moves, jumping around, kind of get all that out of him, where we just, he does what we're asking him to do, and he's a little more controlled about what he does. Right here, what I might do is get him getting soft off my leg right here, and just walk around here. He's wanting to be stiff right here. Let's work on this some more. I have been working on this as we come out in the mornings, where I want him getting off my leg, bringing his nose around. Helping him learn to be soft to my hands and my feet. That was better. Seeing all of this stuff, it's their mentality, it's their temperament, all of that stuff. Immaturity, it's all things that kind of play a factor in a horse being soft. And so when we're looking for the physical action of them being soft in our hands and feet, but those horses have to work through a lot of things in their minds. They have to mature. They have to mature a bit. They have to get comfortable with the situation enough to calm down and relax. They have to work through any fear or anxiety they have in order to be soft and relax through their body. They have to be able to trust you. And so, we're looking for the physical action of being soft and supple or soft and responsive, but a lot of mental action, a lot of mental work has to take place, where these horses have to work through a lot of things in order to get to that spot. And so I think I'm going to just kind of walk around here, remind him about getting soft to my feet. Help him relax here, bring my energy down. All that head bobbing and everything is all just him working through, getting upset. And so we'll just help him through it. I'm not mad at him or upset or think he's a bad horse. Like, it's just, these horses they got to work through all this stuff, and we just help them. It's the same thing with our children. That's what my wife and I think about a lot, is how we can just help them work through, help our daughter work through whatever she's going through, and help her to get into a good state of mind and frame of mind, and be able to stay in that frame of mind. And takes patience and just sticking with it. This horse will put some effort in, do the right thing, get soft. We'll quit him here. You know, that's the big thing I work on, or is important to our program, is starting the horse off in a soft manner, you know, starting them out in a good manner, and then quitting him in a good soft manner as well. And so, you know, you see right here, there's a lot of stiffness in this side of his body, whether mentally, I mean, a lot of it's all mental, but I'm going to remind him about being soft. So he was stiff in that new exercise we were working on. So I just went and I'm just going back and reminding him about these other exercises that we've put together to build on that, where we can leave him in a good frame of mind. So tomorrow, certainly come out and be aware of these spots that were highlighted to us here, where he's just getting anxious and worried about being on this right side, kind of stiff right there. And so I'm going to go in and kind of review this stuff leading up to it a little bit with him as a warm-up, and then work through those exercises again. Like I said, he's a very good-minded horse, a good horse. I anticipate coming out here tomorrow and it being 110% better, especially with us leaving him in a good frame of mind, us reminding him what we're working on, and you know, just continuing to build that confidence in these young horses is important, you know, and having a foundation just like you saw. But we had a foundation in these different exercises that we could go back to and remind this horse about the different components of what we were working on, and remind him, build his confidence back up, and then go back to working on what we were working on. And that's the importance of all the groundwork we've been doing. And the importance of layering exercise after exercise, teaching these horses how to move their different parts of their body, so that when a horse gets frustrated or confused or anything like that, you can back them back down just like we did, remind them, and then build it back up. So that'll be our review with Cairo for today. I think it was a good work. We got him worked through those spots there and quit him in a good place. So we're pleased with it, and we'll catch you with you on the next one.